Welcome, everybody. Thank you for listening to KHTS 1220, your hometown station. There's been a lot of talk around town about our new show. I'm so excited to be here today to introduce to you He Said, She Said. This is going to be an amazing show, all about those topics, husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, we all discuss. I'm pleased to introduce the hosts of our shows, He Said, She Said. We have Coach Ron Tunick. You might know him from his book, The Thinking Room, or maybe his radio shows, The Business of Life, The Mentor Show. With him, we have Ellen Tunick. She's not only the beauty, but the brains behind it all. We can't wait to hear what she has to say. Ellen, Ron, we welcome you to your new show, He Said, She Said.
Thank you, Robin.
Thanks, Robin.
Hello, Ellen.
Yes.
So, how does this show come about where a husband and wife team are on radio? I'll tell you, every afternoon, first of all, I got to introduce our guest coming up pretty soon, Tammy. Hello.
Hello.
Tammy has an interesting story, so you're going to have to tune in to listen to it. She's a mom. She lives right here in the Conejo Valley. That's
Santa Clarita Valley.
Living in, where am I? Santa Clarita Valley?
Santa Clarita.
Married to a police officer. All right, so back to Mrs. Tunick and myself. So every afternoon, Elle and I sit in our backyard, and we have a sip of something, and we talk about life. We talk about different subjects, and we thought, one day, this was several months ago, we said, we ought to do a radio show, because we're doing a radio show every day, aren't we?
Basically, where our opinions are so different about so many topics.
So we talk about everything. We're not going to do any politics today, are we?
Not today,
no
but we will
today.
get into politics.
Oh, yes,
you can be sure of
we will
that.
get into politics. I'm a little bit on the right, and you are?
A little bit on the left, but mostly an issue person.
And we won't talk about church stuff today, but someday we'll get into it.
Someday we'll get there.
We're not going to talk about sex today, but we are going to talk about what I get excited about. That is news and facts nobody cares about. You ready?
This is very much what we talk about, and I look at him and go, really?
Yeah. So let's start our show called He Said, She Said here on KHTS 1220 AM. Incidentally, they have a great app. So if you're listening in the car, pull into the garage, and you still want to listen to our show, download the app in your app store. It's KHTS 1220. Also, we got to give a shout out to Kyle, our producer.
Absolutely.
Can you talk?
We're counting on you, Kyle.
Talk. Yes, I can talk.
How come I can't hear you through my headset?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on
We'll
there.
work on that later.
Fix
All
it.
right, so here's the news and facts nobody cares about. What do you think the top three, and I'll ask everybody, top three fast food restaurants? Can't look at my cheat sheet, Tammy. Top three fast food.
In-N-Out. I'm going to say McDonald's, even though it's not that good.
What do you got, Elle?
I got Taco Bell.
Here's your top three. Chick-fil-A, Chipotle.
Or Chipotle.
How do you say it?
Chipotle.
And I'm going to mess this up. Pandora bread.
No.
Panera.
Those are your top three, I guess.
We offer English lessons.
All right, let's move on. How about your top three fitness states? The three states where the people are the most fit.
I'm going to say Seattle, Washington.
California,
okay.
I'm going to say Florida.
California, Washington, and Colorado.
Colorado, the Olympic Training Center.
All right, how about the three worst states, and then we're going to take a break and come back.
Mississippi.
No, not even close. North Dakota, Delaware, and here's a shock. South Carolina is on the
I get that, South Carolina. South Carolina's got that food. They've got those drinks. I'm sure you've seen that show, Southern
And they got
Charm.
beaches.
Yeah.
With Cabana Boys.
We got to pay for this show. let me ask you a question. You've been in business. My wife is a very successful business executive, aren't you?
Of course I am.
Yes, you are. So I get asked all the time about credit card services. Who in town? Who in the Santa Clarita Valley and Antelope Valley? You can hear our show.
How about nationwide?
Yeah,
Nationwide, Superior Financial. They are a local company. I have personally used them, been involved with them for probably the last 10 to 15 years. When you call, they actually answer phones.
Yeah.
They're great.
All right. We're going to come right back on the show we called He Said, She Said. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You are listening to He Said, She Said with Coach Ron Tunick and Ellen Tunick. We also have Tammy here in the studio. Coach, what's going on right now?
Well, back to, that's a lot better. Back to our show. So we sit in the backyard, Mrs. and I, Ellen Tunick and I, and we talk about life. We talk about everything. So here's what we have been talking about the last week, you guys, and Tammy and Robin, you guys can jump in. So I have a bucket list. And I want to get into, one of these 250,000 luxury motorhomes and travel around the country and go to, I want to go to the South to see, I love the South, so I want to go and see
You've never been there.
I know, but I want to go there.
That's why he wants to go.
I want to go, yes, thank you, Tammy. I want to go and experience the South. I want to eat red beans and rice and grits and put butter on it, but I want to go to all the great resorts of the United States. I'm a golfer.
Golf resorts.
Yes.
I do not golf. You golf.
Oh, but there's spas. This Greenbrier.
How many massages can you have?
Girl, it's a 65,000 square foot spa. I mean, it's got bowling alleys. It's got a shooting range.
Don't bowl. Don't shoot.
They serve champagne there.
Champagne is good.
There you go.
Yeah, why don't you just start drinking all
But
day?
my idea is you give me sand, you give me blue waters, and a cabana boy. I don't need to sit in a Winnebago.
I second that.
But now I'm going to say,
Thank you
guys,
so much.
that's not a bucket list. This is vacations you're talking about. So
My bucket list consists of multiple vacations with cabana boys.
Okay, let's challenge yourselves, though. Something a little bit bigger. I know I did my bucket list last year. Biggest thing of my life. I went skydiving. Loved it. Now, I'm not sure if riding in an RV is a bucket list.
Not much.
Or your idea of a vacation.
No, that would be a bucket list. I can't even imagine, I can't even imagine jumping out of a perfectly good air. It's unbelievable. You know how much I told you. I admire you for having just guts to do that.
Well, okay, I guess I'll admire you and Ellen, too, if you get in an RV and you make it all the way across country and back.
No,
I don't think so.
Robin, here's what she said to me.
I'll be flying back. He'll be driving back.
Here's what she said. Get a girlfriend. So
I'm okay with that.
So if you're a female out there and you want to go across the country with an old dude and go to golf courses, right?
Sign up.
Okay, but let's go back to, so my bucket list is to go to really nice resorts, play golf, experience, look, resorts are at some of the coolest properties in the country.
My question is, do you believe that men have more bucket lists than women do? I've talked to a lot of women and they go, no, haven't really done the bucket list. But you talk to a man, got the bucket list.
All right, Tammy, do you have a bucket list?
I do.
What is it?
The main one right now is zip lining, but not just zip lining, like extreme zip lining. Like you're going to have to go to a high mountain and climb down.
We're going to hook you up with Robin and you guys do that because she's an adrenaline junkie.
I want to zip line. I want to do that. I want to go to Africa and really see animals that are not
because that's two on your bucket list. But I mean, the zip line. You've done that, Robin, right?
I have done the zip line.
What is that? Like 10 seconds?
Oh, well, it depends.
no,
we did a course, over a 7-mile course, from high to low, long to short. We did actually take Ellen with us. She did have to bail out after about 2 runs. It was way too much for her bucket list.
Thought I was going to die.
That's what I want to do.
Okay, so you want to go to Africa.
But does your husband have the same bucket list as you do?
Absolutely not.
Thank you very much.
So, I mean, that is the issue. The issue is how do we stay happily married? And I want to do what I want to do. And
because I'm totally okay with that. If you want to rent a Winnebago,
go to Facebook and check me out. I'm pretty handsome, ladies out there.
Jeez, Coach.
I'm totally okay.
No, but you need to go to Facebook.
You're handsome.
Yes,
but you're not
but I'm old.
pimping yourself out for dates for your bucket list
for your
adventures.
Winnebago.
But how about go to Facebook? Look, you don't want to give out your name for Facebook. Well, your name's Ellen Tunick, but you have what, 12 friends on your Facebook?
Aww.
I think I'm up to 13, and I'm real happy with
I
my
think
13.
five of them are probably sitting right here right
I'm
now.
going to have to friend
1,
you.
2, 3. Yeah, you got it.
All right, back to the bucket list. So, Africa. Well, let's go back to Robin. What do you want to do?
Actually, to be honest, it is Shark Week. My next one is I want to swim with sharks.
Okay, you're on your own on that.
Sick? You are a sick puppy. Jumping out of airplanes and swimming
Her
with
husband
sharks?
thinks that too.
I mean, my husband has no desire. These are not on his bucket list. However, he does support me, and I want to go swim with sharks.
And I think you just hit the key point, is your bucket lists don't have to be the same. You just have to support them.
But do you have to go with them?
No, absolutely
No.
not.
Okay.
You can
No.
support them.
There
You
go.
don't have to do them.
I don't think you need a $250,000 size RV.
That's how I roll, girl.
That includes the driver, the cleaning lady,
The chef.
and the chef.
That's how I roll. I mean, she's saying it. My wife, my gorgeous wife, is saying at lunch, "I'm not getting in a Winnebago, honey. Have you looked at the new Winnebagos?
They're
It's got
nicer
wheels.
than my house, yeah.
It's
Do you
got
have
wheels.
one?
No, heck no,
Oh.
no. I'm saying they're
Kyle,
nicer
do you have a
than my
bucket
house.
list?
Yeah, I don't have it like written down on paper, but sure.
What would be
What's
one
your
thing?
top?
Yeah.
The top thing on my bucket list?
Top thing on your bucket list.
Gosh, I wasn't prepared for this, but probably the thing that pops into my mind is to hike to Machu Picchu in Peru.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
I'm going with him.
Okay.
Well, there you have it. All right.
Sign up.
If you can't say Machu Picchu, you can't
You
go.
can't go.
Really, I would like that. Would yeah. Never mind.
That's
All
something.
right, so coming up next on He Said, She Said, you're listening to KHTS 1220 on the AM dial. Don't make a face at the AM dial. There's a lot of cool stuff here on KHTS. Also, they have a great app. Download the app in the App Store. Coming up next is a dear. When I first moved to Santa Clarita a few years ago, I didn't know anybody, and I met this lady at LA Fitness. And you befriended this old dog, and we started talking. And you have quite a story.
Bless you, Tammy.
Yes,
Thanks.
you're a teacher,
Yes.
and you have a hobby, which we'll talk. I can't say it right now, but I'm teasing the audience. You have a very interesting hobby, and we'll talk about that. But we're going to talk about schools, education, private schools versus public school. Big issue with the missus and I. Huge issue. I went to public. Anyway, come on back. We'll be right back on KHTS AM 1220. Be right back.